Hey, my name is PolishLynx. Welcome to another episode of Katawa Shoujo. I'm trying to find my good space while sitting, and we can continue. Things have returned to normal. Well, I transferred in at a pretty unusual time, and I can hardly say that I had a normal first few weeks here. I guess it's more like things have calmed down and reached the normality. Mouse, of course. I've been here longer than I thought. It's hard to think about all the stuff I must have missed in this school before my arrival, or the things that might have happened in my old school since I've gone. I wonder, where these feelings come from since I didn't leave much behind. I have a lot more here that I like. If it wasn't the case, then I wouldn't even bother with something like the student council, or Shizune, or Misha. I would be hard pressed to care about anything, if this school was how I imagined it would be. So even this feeling of a daily routine makes me glad in a way. I dread the amount of work that's going to hit me up in student council after school. Enough to want to consider stepping out my duties just this once, yet it's nice to feel like there is something I can do. Shizune drops the stack of attendance sheets next to me. Thanks again for helping out. Thanks again, Hichan. Surely it's a lot of work for. I had to skip out on sign language class again, but now I'm at a level where I can understand most of Shizune and Misha's conversations with each other, so I'm not too bothered by it. Shizune still doesn't know that though. I'm determined to keep things that way until I'm very sure of my skills. Perhaps still a little childish of me. No, I understand. Yeah, I understand. You don't want to you don't want to start something until you are at a decent level. It's understandable. Tanabata is in less than 5 days, but they're only going to start building the stalls tomorrow. Hichan, we might have to help out with building stalls again starting tomorrow. What? What was the point of taking them apart then? That took days, didn't it? Yep, that's right. Even though Hichan wasn't there for it. I would have helped out if you asked. It wouldn't have made sense to bother with cleanup duty after you enjoyed the festival so much. It wouldn't have made sense to bother you with making you clean up after the festival. It would have ruined the fun. Besides, Hichan is lazy anyway. You would have tried to run away again. Hichan does not playing Foxhound. That stinks. Shizune covers her mouth with her hand and starts shaking. It takes me a second to realize she's laughing, mostly because she's doing so completely soundlessly. It's a little strange to see, but more or less the same good-spirited kind as Misha's without being eardrum piercing. That's a good question for Hichan. Huh? Stalls. It's a strong issue. The school doesn't have anywhere to store so many stalls, since each one is pretty large. They won't pay for outside storage either, so this is what they decided on. It's inefficient, but cheaper. Because the school doesn't have anywhere to store that many stalls, Hichan. Yeah, right. They do, but they don't want to pay. Sorry, Hichan. It's because of the previous generation. The leadership decided that outside storage costs had risen too much, and the student council before us was too weak-willed to tell them that it's stupid to have to build and disassemble 60 stalls twice a year, every year. What? Okay. Hichan, let's eat something. It feels like we've been working all day. We have. Now the thing about it, I'm hungry. I would have had lunch, but it was really crowded today for some reason, so I decided it wasn't worth the trouble. It was like that today because they had some fairly interesting things for sale on the side. Like what? No, don't tell me. I guess it doesn't matter, since I won't be able to eat them anyway. She looks oddly pleased with herself. I wonder what the context of that could be. I prepared ahead of time for this. Being with self-satisfaction, she produced a wide assortment of food from her bag. I commonly see that 90% of it or more was taken from the lunchroom. There's a lot as well. Isn't there a limit on how much a person can buy? That means these gains are definitely ill-gotten. The veal cutlet bread is always sold out in the first minute of lunch. I'm impressed you managed to obtain one. Thank you. I reach for it quickly, but Shizune immediately makes a grab for it as well. Her hand goes slack for a second when it touches mine, but she immediately pushes forth with redoubled effort, that blazing, competitive spirit flashing dangerously in her eyes. No, more like that creepy expression. Her fingers pry at mine, searching for an opening. I didn't batch an itch, prepared to fight for this bread of my life. I might never have another chance to eat this. I'm fully aware that if we continue like this, we could crush the bread, greatly reducing its edibility. Misha, tell her that unless she lets go, the bread is going to be crushed. Oh, why can't you do it yourself? I'm startled she can so nonchalantly let slip that I could communicate with Shizune just fine if I wanted to. I almost considered the possibility was intentional, but I'm sure she was just distracted trying to tear the wrapper of a juice box straw. Isn't it obvious? I can't let go of the bread. I can't tell Shi-chan that then. She put her up to the sky and shrugs a wide grin on her face. Why not? Because you have a stake in this, so I can't trust you. If Shi-chan wants to reply, she has to let go of a bread, and then you win. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's what you want, Hi-chan. It won't be fair, so I'm going to be neutral, like Switzerland. Do you know about Switzerland? Yes, I do. Of course I do, it's neutral, very neutral. Shizune stares at me coldly, the tip of her tongue sticking out slightly from between her teeth as she continues to stack firmly at the veal cutlet bread between us. Suddenly, she lets go and holds her hands up, palms facing outwards, the universal gesture of peace. It seems like a poor way to settle this, doesn't it? And we might crush the bread. She exerts her passive expression, quickly plummets into a disapproving grimace. Hi-chan, drop the bread! We're negotiating now! I drop the bread, reluctantly. Misha's hand darts in from sight. Her fingers drum across the table as it makes its way over. Don't mind me! I don't even really like veal. I will just take the sandwich right here and something to drink too. Bringing them up cautiously, she immediately retreats. She has the right idea. I could just pick something else. There are lots of delicious things here. The chicken katsudon bread is also popular salad, ranking high in taste and demand, but I've already eaten one before. You're so immature, Hisao. This wouldn't be a problem if you would pick something else. The chicken katsudon bread is delicious. You're so immature, Hi-chan. Why don't you pick the chicken katsudon bread instead? It's delicious. But I have already eaten that. Hi-chan, we're so obsessed with eating the veal cutlet bread. Specifically. It's hard to get through body. Rare things are more delicious. That's not necessarily true. You're acting like a child. You're acting like a kid, Hi-chan. Why don't you eat the chicken meat bread then? That's not important. Turning bright red, she smiles cunningly and continues. There is no reasoning with you, so it looks like there is only one way to settle this. We are going to play for it. Ugh. That doesn't matter. We'll play for it instead. Yeah, I don't want it anymore. Somehow I expect this is the logical conclusion. It was the obvious, actually, conclusion. Shizune has been standing for a long time, pretty much continuously up until now. With our finals over, I guess that surplus energy has to go somewhere. Play what? The oldest game known to men, upon which the fate of nations has been known to rest. Rock, paper, scissors. We'll play rock, paper, scissors. Really? That sounds so serious, Shi-chan. There is no humor in her expression. She's dead set on this. Okay. She draws her hand back and I mirror her. Go! We both put out a draw. I had thought I had a perfect plan. Rock is unbeatable. Bullshit. Shizune frowns, deeply upset by this unexpected turn of events. Not as planned. Again! 2 papers. Dame! Again! We both throw out 2 rocks again, but the third hand is among us representing scissors. This looks like fun, can I play? It's a duel, Shichan. Dueling conduct? You're right, I didn't know. The faster she signed, the harder it is to follow. In fact, it looks like even Misha is having trouble keeping me up. What's that about? One more time. We tie again. Every time. Shizune demands a rematch, eventually giving that step out together and throwing rock, paper or scissors out with increasingly reckless abandon. Even playing completely randomly, we continue to tie. This is a mathematical long shot. Misha hovers above us, watching it all and laughing each time we draw. After 16 rounds, Shizune pushes her chair away from the table and stands up. You know what, Issei-chan, I see what I've been doing wrong. This will be all over in the next round, so brace yourself, okay? Okay? I've studied your thought processes and I see how you play. I'm anticipating your next move and will combat it expertly. This is all news to me, as I can't remember what we are doing this over. Shizune grins confidently, a look of fearless daring on her face. Her cool eyes flash with pure competitive spirit as she draws her hand back, goading me wordlessly to do the same. Her form is amazing, like a professional bowler or something, just to throw a hand motion. 2 papers. Shizune's body immediately goes slack, and she rubs her temples with a look of expiration on her face as she lets out a sigh so long it sounds like a tire deflating. I realize I've gotten a little hungry in the time we've been doing this. We can just split it. I break the bread in half and offer one half of it to Shizune. She takes it. Thank you. She looks at the bread in her hand, studying it. But this feels hollow somehow. Regardless of how she feels, she still eats it. All of a sudden I see Misha observing the scene out the corner of my eye. Yeah, Hichan, that was very romantic, I think. Oh, come on. She laughs and takes a bite of her second sandwich. We eat in silence for a while. Shizune and I manage to avoid any other contents, and then we go back to work. Plot twist. Misha had sandwich. The second sandwich of the ones we were fighting for. As we finish up the day's usual feeling, I think to myself that this might be Shuzune's way of trying to start this week off a high note. After all, tomorrow is when the real work will begin, and with her hands literally full building stalls, she won't be able to talk very much. It will likely be pretty dull and tiring, like it was the first time around. I'm appreciative of her effort in that case. It's nice to have days like this, as a way of enjoying yourself before our days ahead. I think that was her idea as well. I also remember that I still have to get rid of Kenji's package. The damn thing is bulky, and somehow I've never been able to track him down since I picked it up. After student council is adjourned for the day, I walk towards the vending machines to look for something to drink, parting from Shizune and Misha. It's a short trip, but after even just a few seconds I start to get the feeling I'm not alone. I've been observed. A pair of my hands, not really my hands. A pair of hands cover my eyes. Guess who? Shizune. Woohoo! It's me, Hichan. Yeah, I know. Then why did you say it was Chichan? It's okay to be wrong sometimes, Hichan. You're too proud. Anyway, after student council, you don't usually have any plans, right? So it's just going to go straight to the door? Where else would I go? Okay, that's great, Hichan. I want to talk to you today, so this works out perfectly. two high school students, alone after class in a quiet, empty building. As the sun dyes the sky a romantic amber color, the cute girl says that she wants to talk. What a secretive and appealing situation. My imagination is buzzing. It's likely not going to be anywhere near as exciting as I'm making out to be, but it's fun to play it up in this way. The popping sound of my canned coffee, opening destroys any chance by attaining such a cheesy mood, sounding louder than I'd have ever thought imaginable, amplified by the context of the situation. I sign in disappointment and relief. So, what is it?
Actually, I was behind in some of my classes, and if I don't catch up, it will be a problem. I can't put it off any longer. My teachers say that I have to really start taking things seriously, so I should listen especially, because this is the third time. Sorry. I'm so sorry, Hichan.
Why are you apologizing?
I won't be able to help you or Hichan with student council for a few days. It will only be for 2 or 3 days, really. I'll definitely try and come back as soon as possible. But
I can say I'm happy about this. It's supposed to be getting really busy this week too, isn't it? That's some unfortunate timing. For a second I want to ask if maybe Shizune could pull some strings to get her out of it. But Misha looks so genuinely apologetic about it. It would be pretty dickish of me to say something like that. Besides, if she says it's something that can't be put off any longer, I'm inclined to believe her, considering how surprisingly serious she can be with student council duties. Yeah, I see. It's okay. You managed with just Shizune yourself last year, didn't you? So I'm sure I'll be able to as well. Don't worry about it.
Really? Thank you, Hichan. Really? Yeah. I didn't know Hichan would take it so well. I thought you would be worried with how there is going to be so much work with Tanabata coming up and everything.
Damn. She knows me oddly well.
But Hichan is so composed. I'm glad.
Yeah, you're so right. I was thinking about it, but it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to freak out over that. It's going to be a little annoying passing the pad back and forth to talk to Shizune for.
Hichan, just tell Shizune you can use sign language too. I don't understand why you won't. You idiot.
Not yet. I can understand most things already, but I want to be really sure. Actually, I wouldn't mind. The secrecy is killing me too, and it would be nice to be able to talk to her in a real conversation. Don't worry, I'm going to have to tell her eventually. Actually, I'm trying to think of a good opportunity for it. Dude, just talk. Ugh.
That won't be a problem, Hichan.
Why not?
Well, because I kind of told Hichan that you could understand her. She was worried about the same thing, that you would be able to understand each other, so I was worried, but it worked out fine in the end after all.
I lose it. Why? I'm not going to scream. Do you know how stupid I look now? I said I understood why he wouldn't do that, but I don't mind. On the other hand, I mean, what was I saying? No, the thing wouldn't work, but sure, it's nice that you need to prepare yourself and so on. You feel like you need to prepare yourself. Then again, you said it yourself back there that you pretty much understand everything and so on. So now you're just basically holding yourself back from actually doing it. And you can just say that it might turn out that you will never get to the same process. You just managed to speed it up. That's a good thing. I sat there for like half of the day acting like I couldn't read sign language, and you're still telling me that she knew the whole time I could? She's probably thinking, this guy is a complete jackass, pretending he can't understand me. I just made a total ass of myself. How could you let me do this? How could you do this to yourself, man? Misha frowns, seemingly lost for words, and realizes that I'm taking this differently than she might have expected. She doesn't speak again until after seeing that I've calmed down.
But Hichan, I think this is definitely for the best,
she says without batting an eye, having waited patiently through my panic to say it. The cheerful delivery of her words makes it seem like she sliced out the time between when she dropped the bomb on me and now. It's pretty funny in a way. You have such a one-track mind, you know that?
Yes!
The damage is done. If Misha can believe that things work out with such unflinching surety, then maybe it's worth giving it a chance. And if things don't work out, I'll run as fast as I possibly can. Which we know is probably not very fast, and even if it's fast, you'll drop down immediately. You've been on a track, man, so we know that. To try and make it up to me anyway, just in case, she offers to buy me another drink from the vending machine. It's a very small token of apology, but I suppose it's the thought that counts, and her thoughts are sincere. Plus, it's a free drink, so I accept. Too fast with that intermission, yo. I can't cut the episode now. I throw back my daily fistful of feels with a glass of water. They say feels, not pills. After a solid 8 hours of sleep, I wonder how that feels. I don't really know what I was so afraid of last night. As I chew a particularly large tablet in half, I continue to rationalize my worries away. Shizune knew I was taking sign language class all day yesterday and didn't make a big deal out of it. She might be mute, but that doesn't mean she can't make her things known. No. In fact, it seems like she's all the more direct for it. She doesn't beat around the bush or hold back. She always makes herself clear unapologetically so there can be no mistakes. So if she wasn't mad then, it's unlikely she would be at all. And on top of that, I didn't do anything wrong anyway.
I mean, that's true.
But as that fear of mine recedes, the thought of spending a couple of days with Shizune without Misha takes its place. I hadn't really thought about yesterday, but the idea becomes more and more intimidating. It's true, I can understand sign language pretty well, but even before he has another attack like in the first episode, I would definitely hesitate to say I can understand it above a basic level. And if she were to speed up her signing, which she does quite a bit, I don't think I could keep up. Signing too is not my strong suit. Doing both at the same time like Misha can is still a distant dream.
Hichan!
What?
Don't forget you said you would help out building stalls today. Behind the school after classes are over, okay?
I know.
Last time helped out, Hichan. We really appreciate it. This time it's even more important, so keep out is unforgivable, okay?
I want to ask why that is, but there isn't any opportunity to. Besides, Misha is behind her classes, so it seems like a bad idea to distract her now. That I know that. I can always ask her at lunch, which is what I end up doing.
Because Hichan, a festival that celebrates a town is exactly what it sounds like. It's to celebrate your home and its history. Tanabata is different. It's just for wishes and lovers. That definitely makes it more important, doesn't it? Yeah, naturally, it would be so.
Is that really what it's for? I don't know. Let's quickly check out Tanabata. Tanabata, also known as the Star Festival, is a Japanese festival originating from Chinese Quixi Festival. It celebrates the meeting of the deities Orihime, I know that name, and Hikoboshi, I know that name, represented by the stars Vega and Altar respectively. According to legend, the Milky Way separates these lovers. Crappy Milky Way, and they are allowed to meet only once a year of this. Oh, I know this story. On the 7th day of the 7th lunar month of the lunisolar calendar. The night of Tanabata varies by region of the country, but the first festivities begin on 7th of July. That's my month, by the way. Gregorian calendar. The celebration is held at various days between July and August. Yo, so it could have been on my birthday as well, right? Has it ever taken place on Tanabata? July 30th. Let's see. In 2013? It seems so. Nice. Or 19. Okay. But it varies for region as well, so. Anyway. Boop.
Hichan, you have no sense of fun.
She puffs out her cheeks in displeasure before blowing the air out like a deflating balloon.
You have to appreciate things like that, even if it's just an excuse to eat interesting things and dress up in the end. I'll be disappointed in you if you don't, okay?
Before I can say anything, she turns to the side to inhale a croquette. I did a croquette, not gonna lie. After classes, I meet Shizune behind the school. We haven't been here before. It seems she already set everything up sometime yesterday. I mean the background here, right? She greets me with a short wave, and then, with flourish of the hammer ready in her hand, extends her arm towards the stalls behind her. Some of them already half completed, others still haphazard piles of board, bound together with string. As time passes, I realize the pills can only do so much. I still get way more tired than should be normal. Luckily, Shizune's back is to me, so I can afford to take a lot of breaks without having to worry about her wondering why. Have you been working out, by the way, man? You were supposed to work out. When I stop and think about it, I start to feel pretty guilty for taking advantage of her inability to hear that my hammer stopped banging. It's a terrible thing to be happy about. Her work ethic is admirable. It's obvious that it bores her, and even annoys her, but she doesn't slacken her pace. When she gets tired nailing a stall together with one arm, she switches to the other. Shizune. Oh, I feel like an idiot the second I say her name. I can't tell her what I think. There's hammer in my hand as well, and in the end, I feel like I have to keep up with her. I can't slack off either, especially with just the two of us. There is no time to sign, no opportunity, not even for a compliment for a job well done. Even something as casual as that would require me to put my hammer down, get her attention, and then sign it to her. A simple gesture turned into something so needlessly complex, like a single footstep taken on a road that's longer than first imagined. I know her for long enough to know this, and I still forgot. The air is filled with the rhythmic knocking of nails being driven to wood. It's actually kind of nice after a while, to pass the monotony of the task at hand. I try to match my hammering to Shizune's, then alternate to try and form a beat. Of course, she doesn't notice. I mean, guess, given that you're outside, that's true. If you were standing on something that would maybe reverberate the hammering, she could notice the beat, supposed beat, from the ground, right? Ah, mouse. It makes you wonder, does the lack of sound make this work seem more drawn out and boring to her? No idea. Is it strange, being unable to hear the results of her actions, even as she feels the vibrations through her fingers? Yeah, that's what I was talking about, kind of. She would feel the vibrations if we had different ground underneath the feet. Or having no cause of sound, does it bother her at all? Probably not. Distracted, I don't notice Shizune singing up on me until her head pops into view. Taking a break? Yeah, I guess. Okay, let's do that. You can understand sign language. That makes it more convenient for both of us, even though you hid it from me. Whoops. Why? Why what? Why did you decide to take sign language? Her eyes don't break off from mine even for a second. If she needs to read my response, her peripheral vision is good enough. Once she has something in her gaze, she doesn't look away. It's so strange how piercing her eyes can be, dark as a lake at night. Because I wanted to. It seems like it would come in handy. And it did, didn't it?
Yes.
Sorry. I didn't catch any of that. See, this kind of thing still comes up now and then. I wish Misha was here.
She has work to make up for, Danji. That might be partly my fault. Misha doesn't need supplement lessons. Her grades aren't the best, but she understands how the decisions she makes affect others. That puts her ahead of many people. Especially certain blondes.
What are you getting onto again? She doesn't forget things easily.
Your sign language is very good. You're learning oddly fast.
I've been taking class for a while now, and it's kind of easy to pick up after a while. Free immersion or osmosis, that kind of thing. It's not too bad. And if I'm really stuck, Misha is there too. I guess I spoke too soon. I didn't understand any of that. Time to backpedal.
Well, yeah, it's actually not that easy. It's actually hard as hell, like trying to pick up broken glass.
Picking broken glass is not hard. I even picked glass with my hands and never managed to cut myself. Yeah, that's not really something impressive. But I don't know, like, I heard of so many people cutting themselves while they tried it. It's ridiculous. I don't know how you manage that. But I guess in some ways it's interesting as well, like an adventure. Well, no.
Picking up broken glass is not an adventure.
Sure it is, it's just as challenging.
No, it's not. If you use a dustpan and a broom, it's not.
Or a vacuum cleaner. Though to be fair, I never use vacuum cleaner from, like, you know, when everything is shattered. It just, you know, I mean, some I pick up the bigger parts, then, as she said, dustpan, and then vacuum, always. That way you more or less can be feeling sure that it's not there anymore, right? When I look up, I notice she has a can of soda in her hand. Where'd you get that? I forgot to sign it. But she understands anyway, following my eyes, and producing another one from behind her back. She does it my direction, and I catch it with both hands.
I brought an extra one for you.
She pauses to slide her finger under the top of her can and pop it open before setting it aside for a moment.
If you're going to try and help me so much, then I have to look out for you too. It's only natural. If you're going to learn sign language, that is something entirely different. I'm naturally going to be impressed. What separates the two is obligation. I'm very happy.
Oh! She downs her drink in one go, stretches her arms behind her back and jumps to her feet. I think I need to go to the store today.
Okay, back to work.
And like that, it's over. Shizune returns to her work with the same energy as before. The lingering trace of a smile on her face, the only evidence that she had taken a break at all. As I do the same, I think that Misha was right in saying everything would work out for the best. Yeah, whoa, it's getting dark. Everything so far seems to be going in that direction. Misha swings by as it starts to get darker, looking just as tired as I feel, and Shizune decides to stop for today. As we cover the day's work and go our separate ways, I look at how fluidly they talk to each other, and how easily they laugh together as they walk to the door. It makes me appreciate Misha's skill at sign language more. I wonder if I'll ever reach that level, or if I even will have the time to. We'll get there, man! We'll get there. I mean, you will get there. I probably won't. I don't know, I feel like I would need some sort of similar reason he has to learn it. And yeah. Anyway, let's end the episode here. We'll continue tomorrow, of course. For now, hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful day or night. And see you in the next episode. Bye bye.